Welcome to Own the Chaos. The stock market is crazy and chaotic.
And crash. You son
Oh, God. Hold on. Pause.
Brad and Fat Man Zoom are here to help you own it.
They were targeting Wall Street when they should have been targeting Capitol Hill. They should have been targeting DC. This is the same thing, and this is what people keep missing.
Taking it to the suits, being relatable and hilarious.
You bought GameStop at 400, didn't you? To the moon, baby. To the moon.
Get ready to own the chaos in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. That guy over there is Fat Man Zoom. The stock market is crazy and chaotic. We made it our mission to help you own it. We got a big day today, but Fat Man Zoom, let's hit him off with the start of 5.
All right. Asking you shall receive. Starting 5 is housekeeping. Sam Cisneros, Zero Blue Ox, Tammy Johnson, and Mysterious Gal. You are the starting 5. Now for more important things.
Daniel Camarena is also in the house.
You got to find you are trying to hype him, but you also got to show love to other people.
I know.
This man crush you have with Daniel Camarena. What's up, Daniel?
It's the man crush on us is what it is.
It doesn't seem like that. What's up, guys? Let's get into the thumbnail pose off. That's only important.
Let's do it. What you got?
All right, you go ahead first. Dave Portnoy, huge announcement. Is pen a buy? Is it a buy? Kathy Wood sells out of China. Bye. Is that all?
Yeah, that's all for you, for me. Yeah.
Is Elon Musk leaving Tesla? Actually, I'm not even making a question. Elon Musk is leaving Tesla. No. Why? That's the only topic I have. That's actually the only topic I have.
That's fine.
And then the main topic is Kathy Wood.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the biggie for the day. I would like to just kind of circle back on Tesla a little bit, just on some of the earnings numbers we saw. I don't know if there's really anything that was surprising to us. The stock ended up opening the day red this morning, but really there wasn't a whole lot else to kind of go over other than the fact that we kind of saw this happening. I still think that there were some promising things in there, but overall Tesla came in, they beat earnings, they crushed them, but there were some issues there with supply chain issues and all that good stuff. And then Elon ended up getting into his call, which caused a little bit of controversy.
Yeah, and we're going to actually pull a clip from there. We're going to be able to pull the clip, right?
Yep.
You guys are going to be able to listen to what he said, and we'll give you thoughts on that. But I'm going to go over the agenda in a second. I just want to shout out Ross Matthews, who in our Discord, for those of you who don't know, our Chaos Crew on the Chaos, we have a Discord where we hang out in all day with our other Chaos Crew members. You may see the Bulls and the Bears in the chat. But he gave a good line today that I wanted to read. From Ross Matthews. Oh my God, the market's crashing to levels we haven't seen since yesterday. I literally just chuckled to myself when I heard that.
I saw that. I actually reacted to that. Yeah. So everybody's kind of flipping out today because it's like, oh, what the hell? The markets have gone up 6 days in a row or 5 days in a row, and now it's time to freak out because we had a little bit of a pullback today. But yeah, I mean, he hit the nail on the head. People just like the sky is falling the first red day they see. But and if you guys wanted to see that, the only way to do it is go and click that join button next to subscribe to become part of the Chaos Crew. Yeah.
So for today on our agenda, we obviously have earnings after hours. So guys, make sure you stick around till after hours as earnings close. In the lead up, we'll go ahead and break down the stocks we have on earnings. We have a lot of good stocks. If you guys saw our video for the Tuesday earnings preview,
yep.
We have AMD, we have Apple, we have Microsoft, we have Alphabet, aka Google. So we have great. I think today is going to be really interesting, and I'm excited about it.
Me too.
When I say great, I just mean exciting. I'm not saying it's going up or down, but we'll get into that. We'll talk about that, give our predictions for that. But we have a few topics we want to discuss today. I think we should probably lead off with the discussion around why the market went down, what we think potentially caused that. Will it continue to go down, or is this a dip by opportunity? And then we brought some topics to the table. You're going to discuss Cathie Wood selling out of all her positions in China. I'm going to talk about Elon making a nice little announcement, and maybe the beginning of him sort of moving away from Tesla. That remains to be seen. And then we obviously got some news before we went on, which was Penn's announcement, which we were Dave Portnoy's announcement, Barstool, which we actually were waiting for. I literally put a tweet on it, and then right after it happened. So let's start with the market. Let's go to Dave Portnoy, and then we'll get into our topics.
Sounds good.
All right.
So the overall market obviously has taken a little bit of a dip. I think a lot of it just has to do with regular digestion in the market. We have the Fed meeting coming up tomorrow, so there could be some people that are on edge about that. Also, we look at the Delta variant, and people are still spooked by it. But here's the thing about the Delta variant. There's a 50% drop in cases between yesterday and today, reportedly, in the UK. And while we haven't quite yet peaked here in the U.S., we just saw today that the CDC was suggesting that mask wearing take place even with vaccinated individuals in indoor spaces. And I think they were narrowing it down to hot spots. I don't know how they would determine that, but I don't think anybody's thinking about shutting down anytime soon. But it still has the market spooked for the day. I think it's just noise, in my opinion. So I've decided to just stay the course, sit on my hands, not do a damn thing.
There is a stock I get into because of this news, which is Zoom.
Yeah.
Should be nobody's surprise. I recently got out of it in the short term, or in the public trading account, and I got out of it, made a nice profit, and I'm back in it. Starter position. I don't believe that this is a one and done. I think Zoom, even it's selling off.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is a good opportunity because I think it should bounce back. I don't think that that local governments are going to be quick to remove the mask mandate. I don't think there's going to be a full shutdown. However, if you rewind back to the beginning of the pandemic and close down, we felt the same way,
That's
which
true.
was, oh no, this is going to be done in a couple months. It wasn't a couple months.
Right.
So I have a conspiracy theory. and
Tinfoil hats, let's put them on.
And I think I'm going to compel you, because when they were talking about certain locations, like certain governments were saying mask mandates would be in place only for unvaccinated people. The thought I had was, that's stupid. Nobody's going to wear a mask because that's going to just show who's an anti-vaxxer, right?
Right.
And so I was like, how does that even work? It's not going to stop anybody from not wearing a mask. I think this is just to make sure that like everybody wears a mask, so people that don't have the vaccine aren't standing out.
Right.
That's my conspiracy theory. There is no basis on that other than I thought it was stupid for them to think that people would actually wear a mask if they didn't have a vaccine, because fundamentally people without vaccines aren't going to believe in the mask anyway.
Yeah, like the honor system that the CDC and the governments were saying that people should or could follow, I thought was a joke from the start.
Yeah.
So I mean that makes sense for sure. I don't know. Either way, I still think it's noise in the markets, and I have no reason to sell anything.
Yeah, I do think this is an opportunity.
Yes.
I did get Zoom, like I said. Shout out to my Zoom snack yesterday. Nuvei was up like 5%.
Yeah.
Excited about that. Snookeroo got into it. Good shot. But yeah, all that remains to be seen. But we'll just keep an eye on that. We'll report as more information comes along. Let's not forget, there was 6 green days in a row.
Yeah.
So you got to put all that in perspective.
Right.
All right, next topic. Let's talk about Penn. So Penn, we were waiting for the huge announcement. I put out a tweet to Dave Portnoy like he was actually going to respond to me and say, yo, what's up, bro? What's up with the news? We're waiting. And less than 5 minutes later, he gave it out. So I don't know if I was the impetus to get him moving on it. But what happened, man?
I will let Dave Portnoy tell us.
Okay.
How about that?
I like that.
Let's go ahead and share our screen over here, and he has a press conference right here on this unicorn.
Let us know if the volume is good for you guys.
Should be.
Trying to wait for the press conference, but an article just leaked. I am on a unicorn right now. And right below me on this unicorn, it says, to discover a unicorn, to find eternal hope and beauty. We have found our unicorn in the University of Arizona in the Arizona Bowl. I'm on the Arizona campus. We are about to announce a multi-year, multi-international, multi-important sponsorship, the Barstool Arizona Bowl. We're not just sponsoring a bowl game. We are, but we're not. Because we have exclusive broadcast rights. CBS used to own it. See ya, smell you later. We control everything. The bowl, the broadcast, the halftime show, the national
That suit's
anthem.
amazing, by the way.
We are getting into the
Yeah, it is
live
nice.
sports broadcast game. You know what this means? The moon is a little bit closer. We've been trying. Thank you to the Arizona Bowl. Thank you to Barstool Sports. Thank you to everybody. We're starting to take everything over. If you don't see the significance of this, you have a pea brain. It's coming New Year's Eve day. Tucson, a lovely city. Barstool, a lovely company. The Arizona Bowl, a lovely bowl. The MAC, the Mountain West. Be ready. Bowl games will never be the same.
All right, so you get the picture. So Barstool comes out, announces that they're going to be broadcasting and essentially being a part of the entire Arizona Bowl. So this is huge, I think, Fat Man Zoom. I don't think this is directly going to impact the stock right now, and it doesn't seem like it is. But if they execute on this and they start to gain more ground, I mean, they are a media company, and if they continue to grow in this way, I think it's a huge step for Barstool. It's a huge step for Penn. This is great news, I thought.
It is great news. What's going to be interesting to see how much they spent. That's going to be interesting because
Yes.
they don't typically spend like this. We'll see what the actual deal was. I do think this is great news. I think this is just the beginning of what's about to happen. But Chaos Crew, I need you guys to listen. Listen here. Because what I'm about to tell you, I think I'm going to be the first one to tell you this. Brad, do you remember when we talked about Spotify?
Yes.
You remember when Barstool and Spotify separated and they tried to get Dave Portnoy? They didn't have enough. They couldn't come to terms.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yes.
And I said, wait to see what they do because this is a good opportunity.
It's serious, by the way.
Sorry, Sirius. That's right. They could be this could be a great opportunity for them. This is the first step.
Yep.
They're going to create their own broadcasting channel, which is absolutely monstrous. New revenue stream for Barstool. Great. And when I say Barstool, this is great for Penn.
Yes.
New revenue stream. They already dominate college market. So the fact that they get into college bowl games is incredibly smart. They're going to continue to ingratiate themselves into the college market. I think this is a good step for them. But more importantly, moving towards a full-blown media company, broadcasting, streaming. There is a lot that's probably in the vision of Dave Portnoy and how this expands. But just remember this, guys, because I think a lot of people are just going to look at it on the surface and going to forget that this Sirius deal ended and they need broadcasting. So
Yeah.
what does that mean? I think this is huge, huge for them.
I think it's big too. I mean, this is more than just sports betting at this point. I mean, the sports betting is obviously where it all kind of funnels to, but this is kind of they're creating their own funnel. And they're not going to be relying on anybody else to do that. They're building it themselves. So, I mean, we saw how Sirius was unwilling to pay X amount of dollars. I don't know if they even got any kind of offer from Spotify as far as that's concerned. We saw that Spotify dumped $60 million on Call Her Daddy, which was crazy. So it's like, I imagine that Barstool and Dave Portnoy are looking for something even bigger than that. And I don't know if it exists. So I think for them, it was like one of those things where we don't think it exists, so we're just going to create it ourselves.
Bro, they beat out CBS.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what's important is not, all right, so Nate, Funny Prank Strong Wrong, said for the non-Americans, what is the Arizona Bowl? You just quick explain this. And this is the easiest way for me to explain it. It's not technically correct, but it'll make sense. Essentially, college football, so our American football, at the end of the year, the best teams will play, and essentially is there's a ton of just tournaments. Just think about one-game tournaments.
Yeah.
So this is like the culmination of the end of the football season, and so this is what everybody's attention's on. So there's a bunch of bowl games. The Arizona Bowl is just one of many bowl games. Normally, you're the lead sponsor, and that's it. Your name's on it. You get a couple shout-outs. What he's saying is we're broadcasting it, and they also control, if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like he's saying they also control like commercials, advertisement, stuff like
All
that.
of it. All of it.
Again, smart move because You could just pay for an ad like DraftKings, put my name on this, pay for this commercial or this ad, put a sign somewhere. No, they're controlling all of it so they can.
It's big.
It's just a smart move.
Yeah.
The details remain to be seen. I'm sure that's going to be coming out sooner than later. So awesome, exciting news. Make sure you guys like and subscribe because we will certainly give updates on this. This is one of Brad's top conviction stocks, top 3. Biggest position he has, right?
Yep.
So we're obviously going to continue to talk about this, but like I said, if any of you guys saw the short, it's a buy. Did you see the structure I did for the short? Did you see
I did.
The short?
It was impressive.
You like that?
I did.
I think I'm going to continue that.
I like that.
All right, moving on. Man, Aunt Kathy. What's going on with Aunt Kathy?
Yeah, so Aunt Kathy ended up selling a bunch of Chinese stocks, and I think this is very telling. I've had a lot of people come to me, and I thought that this would be an important topic to bring up because the Chinese companies like Baba, JD.com, Pinduoduo, Didi, you name it, Neo even, they all started tanking, not just this past week, but even today. I think I saw Baba down another 5%, even though it's continued to get beaten down. I do want to clarify because I remember saying this in the mentorship this morning, but she didn't sell all of them, but she sold significant amounts. And so she sold, Kathy Wood of ARK Investments, so sold out of the ARK F, ARK X ETF, Baba, a shit ton of it. It was, let's see here, I'm looking at the numbers. 99,797 shares were sold out of ARK F and ARK X in Baba, it looks like. And then and this is according to Benzinga. So, and there's all kinds of other ones that she sold out of. And so this is really significant, Fat Man Zoom, because it's not that. So China's claiming that this has a lot to do with transparency and data, and they're kind of trying to see, almost mimicking what the U.S. has been trying to do with social media platforms. But we know what the underlying reason is here, and it has to do everything with control as far as China's concerned. And it looks like Kathy Wood's reading the writing on the wall here. She doesn't want any parts of that. And there's a lot of other bigger investors that are too. It's not that Baba isn't a great company, or that Pinduoduo isn't a great company, or JD.com isn't a great company. It's just that they are now under the thumb of the Chinese government, and it's hurting those companies, and investors don't want anything to do with it. It's continually becoming painful, and it's all coming to a head at this point.
Yeah, I think the question that at least our crew keeps asking is it a buy? You know, I think some people are going to be critical of Kathy Woods for getting out. I understand the move, and I'm sure you understand the move. I don't think she's necessarily saying it's not a buy. I think she's just saying I'm not willing to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's just cut our losses. Who's going to know? I imagine if you ask her over the long term how she feels about China, I think she's going to say, I'm bullish.
Yeah.
The problem is there's just too much uncertainty and there's too much manipulation. And so why would you want to deal with that volatility? If you have a longer time horizon, I think Baba's a buy. I actually would get into it in my longer term investment account. I'm just not ready yet.
Yeah.
Because you're going to hear about U.S.-China tensions. You're going to hear about this manipulation. Ultimately, Baba is at an absolute bargain.
Yeah.
But you just got to wait. You just got to wait. You got to be patient.
It is a bargain, but there's no floor to this just yet. Like it has yet to have bottomed out, and that's the scary part. Is that as great of a company as this is, from a revenue standpoint, from a valuation standpoint, along with the other ones as well. It's like there still has yet to have been any kind of bottom whatsoever. It just continually sells off every single day, it seems. So until there's some sort of consolidation or the bleeding stops, I think it's just all of them, you just kind of stay away from at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff, man. How many people we got in the house?
We got 195 of you guys hanging out with us. So again, thanks for allowing us to be a part of your afternoon. If you haven't hit the like button, we certainly would appreciate that. We're going to try to get over 100 again today. Yesterday, we hit 200 by the end of the live stream. So that would be awesome if we get that. But we're going to start off with 100 and see where we go. So we got 26 likes right now with 200 of you in the house. So let's see if we can't get those up and help support the channel a little bit. If you guys are enjoying the stream, caress that like button.
So yesterday, Monday, Tesla had an earnings call, and Elon runs those earnings call. And to my surprise, and it's been kind of mentioned here and there, but not standing out, to my surprise, Elon had mentioned that this may be his last earnings. But I went, him to tell us.
All right.
Cue the audio.
Okay.
From Emmett, can Elon do an interview with one of our YouTube channels once or twice a year?
On the
I would
chaos?
nominate David Lee on Investing or Rod Maurer's Tesla Daily channels as first possible candidates.
The awkward silence is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll do an interview. I mean, just bear in mind, like if I'm doing interviews, then I can't do actual other work, you know. So it's not, you know, only so much time in the day. So, but yeah, I'll do it once. No, I won't do it annually, but I'll do it once. I think also like. This is the
Today, Junior.
I would say the last time I'll do earnings calls, but this is the I will no longer be default doing earnings calls. So obviously I'll do the annual shareholder meeting, but I think going forward I will most likely not be on earnings calls unless there's something really important that that I need to say.
Okay. So we kind of got it.
Okay.
What were your thoughts on that, Fat Man Zoom?
Well, let me say this. So just it was a little bit tough to hear him, but first off, if you're David Lee and Rob Maurer,
Yeah.
you got like to be just hype.
I know.
You
I
know, that's really cool that they got a shout out. Maybe one day it'll be like,
Own the Chaos.
will you interview on Own the Chaos?
I remember Dave Lee had less subscribers than me. Like I started following him.
He's really good.
He is really good, but it was just cool to see him blow up like that.
So he's no longer participating in earnings calls unless there's major news. And he said, I'm not the default person, so I'm no longer going to be leading the charge. He will be, because it's an obligation of the CEO, participating in the annual shareholder meeting. But he just kind of alluded to the fact, the keys in there were that he's, you know, if he does these interviews, it's taking away his time to run the business. And there's a quote he said in here. It says, it's all worth noting that all the American car companies, out of all the American car companies, there are only two that have not gone bankrupt. That is Ford and that is Tesla.
Yes.
He says, so the seeds of defeat are sown on the day of victory, and we must be careful that we cannot do that. GM is the fourth largest bankruptcy in U.S. history of any company in 2009. So all of you that are excited about GM, not GM, just keep that in mind when you think about GM as the company that's going to beat Tesla.
Yeah, right.
But my question to you is, before I give my thoughts on it, would you be concerned? Does this make you bullish or bearish? Because this is a kind of a big deal. He is no longer going to be on earnings. And why would he do this?
I think I don't like it personally.
Okay.
I think that you're the face of the company. You're the leader of the company. You're the CEO. CEOs come in on, earnings calls and they give their perspective. Nobody wants to talk to anybody else other than Elon anyway. So when they want to conduct interviews, especially mainstream media, when they're giving input on calls, they want to hear from the man. And I don't know if that's really a good call. And I still don't agree with. I mean, they don't have a PR.
Team,
right? Yeah, they don't have a PR team, and I still think that that's a mistake as well. Just because there's so many questions that come from them. Is it going to hurt them in the long run? Maybe, maybe not. But I still think that they need at least somebody to be able to communicate with investors and to communicate with anybody who's even thinking about buying a Tesla. I just don't know if I like this.
In normal cases, I would agree with you, but I think this is the smartest thing they could have done. And now is the time to do it. Now they're about to ramp up to another level. And it's been too much of Tesla is Elon.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about Tesla. People are buying into Elon and they need to move away from that. They need to not rely on Elon. So I think the reason why this is good in a couple cases is this is showing his trust in the leadership outside of himself.
Yeah.
And I also think that if you're on the board, the thing about Elon is he's honest to a fault. And you need somebody who's a little bit more political. I'm not saying that's a lie, but that can give sort of like the political answer and not get them stuck. He just tells the truth.
Just be diplomatic.
And so I think this helps him because I think because he's the founder, he does something that not many CEOs do, and he gives ambitious sort of goals. And that's great as a CEO because you move the ball forward. But why this hurts the company is because normally CEOs temper expectations. He ends up over-promising, and that's going to help them because he'll still be on Twitter, and that'll still move the stock.
Yeah.
But they'll be able to have somebody who, one, they'll groom whenever it's ready for Elon to move away. It won't be such a shock to the stock where they have somebody else who's sort of the face as well. And they'll have Elon and then somebody else they can build that, much like Tim Cook.
I was just about to say
right?
that. Yeah.
And so they were very intentional in Steve Jobs and Tim Cook, and like having Tim Cook take the lead. I think they're going to be doing that. And he said he'll be coming on earnings every once in a while. So when he comes on earnings, I think there's going to be massive moves. So I think it actually is a good thing for them.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't have to. I think this sets them up for more earnings beats because the challenge with Tesla is they can't beat earnings because everybody expects these big news. And I just don't think, I think he just kind of overpromises and it hurts them. So I think it's smart. But I don't think you have to worry about him leaving. I think that this is him saying, I'm doubling down on Tesla. I'm focusing on us getting to that. I think like we're in the red zone. We need these last 20 yards.
Right.
And I need to focus on getting us across that goal line. I love it. I actually think it's really smart, no matter how the market responds to this.
Well, there you have it, guys. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. If you're watching this later, make sure you hit the like button as well. And if you guys are interested in being a bigger part of Own the Chaos, make sure you hit the join button next to subscribe. Become part of the chaos. Get our daily watch list, access to our Discord groups, access to my portfolio, as well as trade alerts. All that good stuff you get by hitting join next to subscribe and becoming a channel member. Become part of the crew and help support the channel. We certainly would appreciate it. All right. We are getting down to the wire here, about 2.5 minutes away from the market close. We have Apple, AMD, Microsoft, and Alphabet, aka Google, reporting today after hours. And if you are here watching, hit that like button in preparation for this because I think it's going to get really exciting here. Fat Man Zoom, real quick, what are you most excited about on earnings right now?
Apple and Alphabet. Now, I'll also say Visa, Starbucks, Teladoc are sort of a sub ones. On a normal day, we'd be excited about that.
Yeah.
Alphabet, just because I just think it has an opportunity to end up being the top dog as far as the fangs.
Yeah.
Like kind of a sleeper. Apple, because I think they set the bar really low.
They always sandbag.
They do, but they don't. They typically only beat by about 10%.
Yeah.
They have not missed. In 9 years, they've only missed one quarter. So they're going to beat.
Yes.
101 is their estimate. They came in at 140 last quarter. I think they beat last quarter, which may be kind of a surprise. And I think that's a pretty bold statement for me to make. But I'm going to say they come in at 149, which would be crazy. But we'll see what happens. I think this is going to be a great earnings for them. So I would say those. What about you?
If they end up coming in and all of the tech stocks right now are red, the NASDAQ is down substantially today. So if there is going to be a blowout quarter, if it's going to do well, I think this is actually a perfect setup because we talked about this on Stockwatch Sunday. By the way, if you guys aren't a part of that or never been to Stockwatch Sunday, we go live every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to go over the week. But I said then that the run up here scares me a little bit. The fact that all these are red going into earnings this afternoon, I think is probably a little bit more promising because typically when you see a huge run up, especially late in the day for earnings, we end up seeing a bit of a sell off or kind of like a buy the rumor, sell the news type of situation. I think this actually bodes a little bit better for a lot of these stocks that are going in and reporting earnings here after hours.
Yeah, absolutely. So which ones are you in? You're not in Apple anymore either, right?
I was in Apple and then sold at 149.
Oh, nice.
So I got in at 138, sold at 149. Felt really good about that trade, and so far so good. But we'll see how today works out.
All right, cool. As we get to the market close, we're not going to go in and break each individual one down. I'll give you the numbers as we get it out.
Yeah.
But man, these are going to be good, man.
Yeah,
these are going to be
agree.
really good. I can't wait to hear what Alphabet says about YouTube.
Yes.
It's going to be exciting.
Me too. We also have AMD, which it'll be, I think this is probably one of the more exciting ones, just because, can we hear from them on the chip shortage? Are we moving past it? is there brighter days ahead for AMD and the rest of the chip makers? I think that's going to be very pivotal. We could see a response from all areas of the market, you know, the automotive area, tech, all that good stuff. So I think that could be a pretty big day for all these guys. I'm going to shift us over to the 5-minute chart here on Webull so we can get some real-time action on this.
And I'm going to Twitter.
And here we go. So the market is officially closed. We're about a minute into after hours. So far, we don't see anything just yet. I'm going to pull up, what were the other ones? Teladoc, Visa.
And the Starbucks.
Starbucks was, I totally forgot about Starbucks. What a big day. What a big day today.
I'm on Twitter on my phone, and I'm on Twitter on my computer to make sure I get all these.
And I know Arfin is there watching as well. I'm going to give us a report here. So Visa looks like it may have their earnings out. It looks like we're getting some action there, but we'll go ahead and wait on that for just a moment. Looking here, I'm not seeing too much action just yet on anything else. Perhaps maybe Starbucks. It's up very slightly here after hours. We'll see how that shakes out as well. No immediate reaction just yet. Teladoc's kind of moving here, but all of it right now looks like pretty typical after hours trading before earnings come out. I am looking at Teladoc. We could be seeing some volume come in here. Microsoft is getting a move on as well, getting pretty volatile here. It's now up over almost, it was up 1%. Yeah, it's a little bit all over the place at this point. We might have earnings out on Microsoft. Arfin does say that Microsoft is out, waiting on those numbers. Teladoc looks like that might be out as well. It's up 1.25% here after hours. Microsoft is all over the place. Here we go. Microsoft's earnings are $2.17. They beat their $1.90 estimate. Sales are at $46.2 billion. They beat the $44.1 billion estimate. So really good there on earnings from Microsoft. But it is trading red here after hours. Now remember, when we look at earnings, just because they beat doesn't necessarily mean the stock automatically goes up. We need to hear about outlook. What's their growth story look like? Are they going to continue to outperform and beat year over year numbers? What's that look like? So there could be something in that earnings outlook that may be causing the stock to come down. And that is why we always look at earnings as a 50-50 chance of whether or not the stock's going to go up or down. I think the more important thing is how you react afterwards, you know, looking to see if there's any opportunities, that sort of thing after earnings get released. So right now, Microsoft is falling here. It's down 2%. Xbox content and services revenue was down 4%, according to Arfin. That's pretty serious, but not surprising. I mean, people are out more. They're doing more traveling. This time last year, everybody was locked down. They're playing more video games. I know for you and I, Fat Mans, who were playing Call of Duty separate from each other for a long time this time last year. So that's really not all that surprising. I don't know if anybody should be shocked by that. And so that's probably not one of the bigger reasons why it's selling off, but it could be. Microsoft's Surface revenue now was down 20%. Wow, that's a pretty big deal. But again, if we're comparing it to last year when everybody was locked down, everybody was in their homes, it's not really all that surprising, I don't think, Fat Man Zoom.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think Visa maybe is trying to get a move on.
Looking at Visa right now, and we are looking at this. Not a whole lot of action I'm seeing from Visa just for the moment. But Microsoft's trying to claw its way back here. We'll see how that shakes out. Looking at Apple right now, still trading flat here after hours as well. Google, the same thing. Visa still just up 1/3%. No real action from that just yet. And Teladoc, it was up 1.5%, almost 2% here after hours, and now has actually turned red. We'll see what those look like in just a moment as well. But Microsoft, the big story so far, down a little over 2% here in after hours trading on perhaps some revenue numbers that investors did not like, in spite of beating earnings pretty handily, if I do say so myself.
Apparently, Microsoft bought back $10 billion of shares in Q2.
Wow.
It's really going to be the growth. What growth? Because that's the thing about Microsoft is the challenge is maintaining growth. Looks like operating income increased by 42%. Revenue increased by 21%. Net income increased by 47%. All good stuff.
Yeah. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button while we're waiting for some of the other numbers to come in, we certainly would appreciate that. We got 430 of you guys hanging out with 82 likes. Our goal was to get to 100. So I think we could certainly do much better than that. Yesterday, we ended with 200, which is pretty awesome. So we could beat yesterday's numbers. I would be ecstatic. Certainly would appreciate the love. Right now, Starbucks is actually moving as well. It was up over 1% here after hours and is continuing to get a move on. Fat Man Zoom, this is one that I was really excited about because it had already ran into earnings today. And I thought that holding on to something within the hospitality area, especially something like Starbucks, I thought it was going to do really well. So far, it seems like, and it's early yet, but so far it seems like they're reacting pretty positively to those earnings.
Yeah, it looks like it's about to come in. Yeah, I mean, Starbucks is, I think CMG sort of foreshadowed what we're going to see with Starbucks, which is just a monster.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a monster order.
McDonald's is tomorrow, so probably we'll see the same thing from them.
Here we go. Beat earnings per share expected were 77 cents, came in at $1.01. Beat on revenue, 7.23 billion expected, came in at 7.5 billion. And then comp sales up 73%, which was greater than the 69% estimate. I wouldn't say like a monster beat, but a very good beat. We'll see what else is in there.
Especially with the run-up, that's pretty impressive. Right now, it's actually ended up turning red. As I mentioned before, it was still early, so we're seeing some selling here now. It's down about 1.5% here after hours. So right now we have Microsoft's earnings that came in. They beat, but some of the numbers they came in, especially with sales on hardware, seem to be down compared to this time last year, which really wasn't all that shocking, but you can see that the stock is down right now, 2.5%. Starbucks came in, they beat earnings as well. It's down around 2% itself too. AMD is now down 2.5%. It looks like their earnings may be out. Pretty sharp decline here on AMD after hours as well. Right now we're looking at Google too, that is down about 0.5%. I'm not sure if the action there is because we have earnings on them just yet, but we'll get those to you as soon as we get them. I think, in my opinion, so far, with some of these that are selling off, they might be good opportunities for dip grabs. It just seems to me so far, the ones that we're seeing from Starbucks, Microsoft, and Visa, we don't have Visas yet. No. Starbucks and Microsoft in particular, I think, are probably worth watching for a potential dip grab. We'll see what their outlook looks like, but I would imagine that Starbucks has got a pretty bright outlook for the rest of the year.
Yes, absolutely. And any dip is an opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right.
Looking for AMD's numbers. It's down around 2% right now and is actually trying to claw its way back to go green after hours. I imagine those numbers are out. If you guys are just tuning in, thanks for allowing us to be a part of your afternoon. We got 140 likes. Ask and you shall receive, Fat Man Zoom. So
nice.
We got 477 of you guys hanging in here. We certainly appreciate you guys hanging out. If you wouldn't mind giving us that thumbs up, we certainly would appreciate it. Let's see if we can break that 200 number that we got yesterday.
What are we, who's moving? AMD?
AMD's moving right now, as well as Google, Alphabet. Those two are moving now. We just got numbers on Starbucks. We got numbers on Microsoft, and what was the other one? Yeah, it was just Starbucks and Microsoft, right?
Yeah,
that we have so far. So we'll be waiting to get some numbers from Goog as well as Apple and Visa. We're still waiting on too. Teladoc looks like they have numbers out as well. So I'm not sure if Arfin, you want to throw me some numbers? I certainly would appreciate it. Give Fat Man Zoom a helping hand here on some of these.
By the way, Starbucks raised guidance.
Yeah, that's big. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
So that's cool. How's Starbucks doing?
Starbucks right now is down about 1.65%.
T-Doc you looking for?
Yep. Teladoc right now is down around 2.38%.
Okay, here we go. It looks like... Oh, no, sorry. These are the estimates. Here we go. I want to make sure I say this right. They look like they missed on earnings, beat on revenue. I just want to make sure I get the right number here. All right, so earnings per share estimates were a loss of 56 cents. They came in at a loss of 86 cents. Revenue beat estimates were 500 million. They came in at 503 million.
Oh, wow. So pretty big miss. Teladoc's actually continuing to get wrecked here. It was pretty It was a pretty small sell-off, and then all of a sudden the bottom fell out on this thing, and it's down yet again another 8%. If you guys recall Stockwatch Sunday, I said that even though I liked how it was holding up leading up to earnings, I didn't really like this one, and I thought that this would be a sell. Turns out this one was actually right on the money here as far as not holding on to it.
Nice job, man.
Thanks, bro. But right now it's actually selling off pretty hard. It's down around 7.25%, 7.75%. AMD is also still in the red, but it's really trying to fight its way back here. It's up. It's down only 1% after being down around 3% previously. Microsoft's also fighting its way back after beating earnings as well. Lots of action going on here. Don Fron in the house. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Again, thanks for allowing us to be a part of your afternoon, guys. If you're just joining us for the first time, hopefully we earn a subscription from you. We do this every single day, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. We go live Monday through Thursday, and then we go live on Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time for Stockwatch Sunday. If you guys want to hang out and be a part of this every single day with us, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, and most importantly, hit that thumbs up. This is looking pretty good for Microsoft. We're starting to see some buying return here. Nothing crazy just yet, but we got some. It's starting to claw its way back here a little bit. Starbucks also still just down 1.5%. Nothing too crazy there. I don't know if there's anything that should be any cause of concern. Teladoc still getting wrecked, down 7.75%. Looking at Visa, we still have yet to have gotten their numbers in, so that's just kind of chilling here after hours. Nothing too crazy on that. Microsoft is still kind of down here. We'll continue to watch that, and as some of the other numbers come in, we'll certainly be giving you those. I'm guessing Alphabet hasn't released their numbers just yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, because it is trading down a little bit. It doesn't look like it's anything crazy, and it does look like it's still pretty low volume so far. So we will as soon as we get those Alphabet numbers, we'll certainly give those to you as well. Apple still has yet to report too, so those seem to be the ones that we're waiting on. We're waiting on Visa, Alphabet, Apple, and I believe
AMD.
And AMD, it looked like some of the action from AMD looked like we had the numbers, but maybe we don't have those out just yet.
Not yet.
Okay, right now AMD is trading down 1.25%, 1.5% thereabouts.
Nate says, what the fuck does T-Doc even do?
Don't invest in things you don't understand.
Hopefully NFTs one day if they know it's good for them.
Yeah, that's right. Healthcare NFTs.
I always see this in Twitter.
What's that?
Judge
The Judge Judy. Yeah.
every time. Always see it.
Give me them numbers. Give me those numbers. Guys, let us know where you're from, too. Let's do a little bit of a roll call. Love to hear from you guys. Where are you coming from? Where are you watching from? We haven't done a roll call in a minute. Fat Man Zoom, don't look now. Alphabet is trading now green. Actually, just started surging here after hours. It is now up nearly 2% here. It looks like those numbers could be out.
Looks like a massive beat. That's the word, but no numbers yet.
Okay. All right.
These probably are here in any second.
So some pretty decent action here for Alphabet after hours. What a monster this has been. You look at the daily chart, and this has continued to just go nuts. Today, obviously, had a really healthy pullback, which was good. And then today, after hours, it looks like maybe those numbers are in and pretty positive here. Lots of, Mesa, Arizona. Got to pee a lot. Says he's from the nursing home. He or she is from the nursing home. Philippines represent Joshua. I love it.
How much is Goog up?
Goo right now is up 1.5% after hours. We'll come back here to the 5-minute chart to give you guys a better visual of what's going on live and in person. Sorry, Christoph from Hungary. That's awesome. Dallas, Texas. I like it. Austin, Texas. Listening from the pool, says Mysterious Gal. That's what I like to hear. I love that. Goog is really on a tear here after hours. It is up 2.5% now. Word on the street is that it's a massive beat. We're just waiting for those final numbers to come in. Brad Harris is from the great state of Kentucky. Arfin, here we go. Thanks, man. We got Alphabet numbers.
Ooh, nice. Estimates are $19.33 a share. They came in at $27.26.
Oh my God.
And net income, I don't know why this doesn't say revenue. Net income's $13 million, came in at 18.52.
That's
I
wild.
need the revenue. Does he have the?
He has the
there we
rev.
go.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say he's got it.
56.8 billion was the. Is this right? 56.8 billion was the estimate. 61.88 billion is the actual.
Arfin has a different number. I'm seeing 27.26 beats.
That's the earnings per share. I already gave that number.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
So the number was so big, I thought it was abbreviated in billions. So I'm going to take your word for it.
56 billion. Yeah, that's right. They beat 61 billion.
That's crazy. Unbelievable beat here. It is now up over 2.5%, which is pretty massive for Google. It is up $70 per share here after hours. Pretty wild move from them. I mean, those are pretty incredible numbers, Fat Man Zoom. I'd imagine that 3,000 could be right around the corner for Alphabet, maybe even in this quarter.
They are just monsters.
Absolute beasts. It's still climbing here after hours. It's up 3% now. This is pretty wild stuff. AMD now just went green here after hours too. Not sure if those numbers but it's certainly looking like it.
Estimates were 54 cents a share for AMD. Beat 63 cents. They also beat on revenue, 3.62 billion estimated. They came in at 3.85.
That's pretty good beat. Pretty good beat. We'll see what their outlook looks like here, but so far so good with AMD now up over 1.5% here. This has been a great comeback story. If you look at the daily chart here as well, it was up to almost $100 a share, just under that, around 99 bucks. And then obviously the chip shortage hit them pretty hard, and it's continued to fall down, and it started to make a pretty roaring comeback. We expressed last month that we expected the chip shortage to be the worst of it to be behind us. And hopefully we hear from AMD to let us know that it is, and that they are working towards getting the supply chain back online, back to where it was, and we could hear some good things from them. But so far, so good from AMD, and I'm loving the action here so far. So we are still waiting on Visa numbers, but if you guys are just joining us. I'm sorry, Visa and Apple, sorry. So if you guys are just joining us, we did get earnings numbers from Starbucks. They beat pretty handily. Not sure why we're seeing the selling off there, but right now it's down about 2.5%. If you Teladoc missed earnings horribly yet again and is getting ravished here after hours, down over 7%. AMD came in and beat earnings. We're still waiting on the outlook there, but so far so good. It's up 1.5% after hours. Microsoft came in and beat earnings as well, but had some poor numbers as far as Xbox sales, really hardware sales for Microsoft. I really want to see the Azure numbers for Microsoft too, because I think that's really what's going to matter for them. But right now it's trading just around 2% in the red here after hours. Goo came in, smashed earnings by like 30%, right? Somewhere around there. And so that's a huge beat for them. Yep. And is up over 2% after hours as well. So those are the earnings that we've gotten so far. What a watch party we've had so far, Fat Man Zoom. I feel like I'm already in a sporting event. It's crazy.
It's been great. So far, so good. Excited about this.
Yeah.
Alphabet.
We got 611 of you guys hanging out here as we're awaiting the Apple earnings as well as Visa. And if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up while we wait, we certainly would appreciate it. Help support the channel, help get our content out there. If you're visiting for the first time, we encourage you to hit the subscribe button. We are Own the Chaos. The stock market is crazy and chaotic, and we made it our mission to help you guys own it. We're live here every single day, Monday through Thursday, and then also Sundays as well at 3:30 p.m. during the week. Eastern time, and then we're also live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to kind of give you a snapshot of what we think the week's going to look like. So if you guys want to be a part of that and hang out with us, we're live. Have a great time. We talk about all kinds of stuff. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You get notified when we go live, in case you kind of forget. It's always good to be reminded.
All right, looking for Visa.
Visa right now, still just trading flat here after hours. Not a whole lot of action really to speak of from them so far. And still waiting on Apple. During earnings season, Apple's always the last one to go, the last one to report. So it's going to take a little bit of patience, but I think they're usually around 20 after or 25 after 4.
Is Google pulling back a little bit?
Google is pulling back here a little bit. It's up only about 1.5% now. It was up a little over 2.5%, somewhere around there. So, so it is pulling back here a little bit. Could be just some profit taking. We'll see. Snookeroo says, I just lost it. Where are you at? Brad sounds like he's doing play-by-play for a horse race. I feel like it, Rob T. I feel like it. Great show as always, fellas. Thanks.
Don
thanks,
said pull up Facebook.
What's going on with Facebook?
Not sure.
Let's see. Facebook's up over 2% here after hours. Let's check the news. Got nothing on news here. 11 minutes ago, there was nothing. I have nothing on them so far. Not quite sure why they're moving up. As soon as we get some news on that, I'll certainly be sharing that with you, but that's interesting. AMD here is still climbing here after hours on a pretty solid earnings beat. It's up over 2.5%. Pretty solid move out of that so far. Still awaiting the Apple earnings.
Nate says that Facebook announced that they bought $10 billion in Bitcoin.
No shit. Is
that
Bitcoin
right?
moving? Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up 3.2%.
It's kind of been up.
Let me look at the 5 minutes. No immediate reaction from Bitcoin just yet, but yeah, that's pretty wild.
I'm not seeing that anywhere else. Not that I don't trust you, Nate,
Yeah.
but sometimes people
Just
try
like
to
the-
troll us on that.
Yeah. Nothing on that so far. I think that's
He was joking.
yeah.
I hate when
Thanks.
people do that.
Yeah. So annoying. So annoying.
Come on, man.
Okay. What?
No, it's just funny. Guys, I know you might have said you're joking, but we don't read every single
I know.
message.
It's like we pick up one thing and then the chat just keeps rolling and we're like, oh shit, did we really miss that? Goog is starting to come back here a little bit.
No way that's true. He says that after the fact.
Okay.
No way that's true.
Have you seen their balance sheet? Do you know how much cash they have?
Yeah.
It would not surprise me.
Oh, man, people.
All right. Looking at
Let's get back on track.
Visa, still waiting on Visa numbers here right now. Still waiting on Apple at the moment. Goog is starting to move back up here after a brief pullback. After hours, after a monster beat, starting to look like a potential bull flag pattern here on the 5-minute chart. We could potentially see Goog move higher here. We'll see. But so far, so good on that. Really nice comeback after some profit taking. If you guys are just joining us, Microsoft came in and beat earnings, had some disappointing numbers as far as some of the hardware sales were concerned compared to this time last year, which honestly, I don't know if anybody should be shocked by. I don't know how you continue on that freight train of computer sales that we saw last year with this year. So I don't know if that really should be a reason to sell Microsoft, but I would like to see some of the numbers we got from Azure as far as Microsoft's concerned to really kind of like come up with a verdict on that. But AMD still rocking and rolling on an earnings beat. Not quite sure on their outlook just yet, but we'll see what they say as far as that's concerned. So far, so good. I mean, it's still rolling. It's up 2.5%. Teladoc got wrecked. Starbucks is down 2.5% on an earnings beat and an upgraded outlook as well. So no reason really, I think, for Starbucks to be selling off here other than the fact that perhaps maybe they were buying the rumor and selling the news here, kind of what we expected. But I think that I would look at Starbucks as a potential opportunity if it opens up tomorrow red. I would certainly at least be considering a buy the dip opportunity on Starbucks. Looking at Goog, it's starting to move up still. Let's see. Yep. Still looks pretty good here. Facebook is up. This is from Ryan Malin. Says Facebook could be up because Google's advertising revenue is up 69% compared to this time last year. If those numbers are true, that would be insane.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
I don't know if I would be. I mean, that would make sense as a sympathy play, but
Yeah.
the fact that it is up, that actually wouldn't surprise me because they cut their advertising spend.
Yeah.
This is the quarter they cut their advertising spend. So to be up 70% actually isn't. However, that does make sense. That's why it would be a move.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Facebook move when Snap and Pinterest.
Yeah. Are the others?
I'm sorry,
social
Snap and
media?
Twitter
I guess
reported.
it doesn't matter because they're already out. What
Yeah.
about Pinterest?
We could look at Pinterest because Pinterest is on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, Thursday or Friday. I thought it might have been Friday, but you can
Maybe it's Friday. It's sometime this week. Yeah, it's up 1%. It did react a little bit.
Thursday. Okay.
It did react a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, it is moving as well.
Don says there's going to be no juice left for Facebook earnings after snapping today. Yeah, that's possible.
It sure seems like it. It sure seems like it. We look at Facebook on the daily, and how much more do you want to? How much is Facebook going to have to beat by in order for this to continue to go up? Right? If everybody is expecting some sort of monster numbers from Facebook, this could very easily be one of those situations where they sell the news on this if they come out and just kind of come in line with what everybody's expecting. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Certainly a lot of risk there with Facebook at this point.
Come on, Apple. This is ridiculous.
I know.
Every time.
They do this every time. Looking at Apple right now, after hours, we are waiting on some numbers here. It looks like there's some volume coming in, so the numbers should be coming around the corner here. Apple is moving here. I wouldn't classify it as flying when it's only up 0.18%. But let's see here. Starting to get a little bit of a move on. Nothing too crazy just yet. So I'm not quite sure those numbers are out. Somebody mentioned AutoZone. AutoZone was one of my favorite stocks from a year ago. Still very much one of my favorite reopening plays. It is up 12% after hours. Did they have earnings today?
Oh, they might have.
That thing is rocking.
I didn't see it.
And what an unbelievable stock this has been. Look at the daily on this thing. Just unbelievable. Cup and handle pattern and then just blasted right out of that thing. Wild. Yeah. This was one of my favorite reopening plays. And really, when we saw the chip shortage, this makes a whole lot of sense. You're buying more used cars. We're seeing used cars get bought up like crazy. Things break on used cars, or you need to, add things to your used car to make it like new again. You're going to go to AutoZone or Advanced Auto Parts or O'Reilly's. And so this is why this has been doing so well. Unbelievable move from AutoZone here after hours. This looks like one of the biggest winners here from today so far.
Wow. So they did report earnings?
AutoZone, I mean, it's looking like it. I don't see the numbers just yet, but it looks like it.
My keyboard just went dead.
That sucks. Thanks, Matt, for the donation. Apple isn't until 5. Can you check MAT? Let's see here. Yeah, it's up 3% after hours. Did they have earnings today too?
Who?
Yes, they did. It looks like they beat earnings at 3 cents versus a street estimate of a loss of 6 cents. So pretty good there. I don't think Apple's is at 5 though. I think it's at 4:30.
That's just the presentation.
Yeah, it's the earnings call will be there, but Apple's earnings report will be coming out probably at 4:30. It's usually right around there. But Mattel is actually rocking and rolling here too. It's up almost 5%. Pretty decent move. Not surprisingly, though, we've seen a lot of retail companies that have just been knocking it out of the park because people are out there spending money. America's favorite pastime is to spend the almighty dollar, and they're doing it on the retail side of things. They're buying clothes, they're buying games, they're buying toys, they're doing all kinds of stuff. So not surprising to see Mattel here. We saw monster numbers from Hasbro on Monday, right? So I mean it's not surprising to see Mattel all the way up here. Pretty good move. Pretty good move from them. So if you guys are just now joining us, first of all, welcome. We got 591 of you guys hanging out. We got 214 likes. Blasted past yesterday's like count, so certainly appreciate that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that up to maybe 250 before the stream's over. Let's see if we can get to 250 before we get Apple earnings. And so far right now with Apple, we are looking at $147.20 right now is where it's sitting here after hours. It's up about 0.25%, and it looks like it is starting to jump here. So we may very well have the numbers out. 430 just hit, And as soon as we have those numbers, we will give them to you. Right now, it's starting to make its way up to about 1.5%.
Here we go.
After hours, here we go. What we got?
Beat. Estimates were earnings per share were $1.01. They came in at $1.30. Revenue they beat. Estimates were $73.3 billion. They came in at $81.43 billion, which is nice.
Wow.
Nice. Not bad.
Pretty big beat from them. Obviously, we also know that outlook is really important, so we'll be looking forward to hearing from them as far as that's concerned. It is a little bit all over the place right now. Very volatile here. It was up 1.5% and is struggling to stay green at this point. So we'll continue to watch Apple here after hours. So they beat $1.30 to $1 estimate, correct?
Yep.
And then $81 billion in revenue compared to 72.93 was the estimate. So pretty big beat from them, but not shocking. We haven't seen Apple miss earnings in quite some time. And so this isn't shocking. What's really going to be important is their outlook. What do they see for the rest of the year? And we talked about this, Fat Man Zoom, but we think that the FANG stocks and energy and some of the reopening plays like hospitality and travel are going to be the sectors that lead the rest of the market. So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw some uplifted outlooks from some of these bigger companies, the large cap techs. And so I'd be excited to hear from Apple to see what their outlook is for the second half of this year.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. See if it can continue to run. Really, the services, the margin, the guidance for it moving forward, they're just incredible.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're in the top spot.
Yeah, it's a little bit volatile here still after hours. Right now, it is now trading in the red, down just 0.25%. Nothing too crazy here. So it is a little bit all over the place, which is pretty typical for after hours trading during earnings season or when an earnings report gets released. But just to kind of recap, guys, with the 600 of you guys that are hanging out with us, we certainly appreciate allowing us to be a part of your afternoon.
Tidbits for Apple.
What's up?
Just FYI. iPhone sales surged nearly 50%. Every one of Apple's major product lines grew over 12% on an annual basis, which is really good for a company that's been around for so long. iPhone sales, yeah, which is crazy that iPhone sales are still going up that much. So Apple sales were up 36% from last year.
Yeah.
For quarter over quarter. This is all good. iPhone revenue, $39 billion. It looks like everything, services revenues up 33%, $17.5 billion. All this stuff is good, man.
Any word on outlook potentially?
I'm not seeing outlook yet. Nothing on outlook.
No guidance raised or anything like that yet. Okay. Yeah. So right now, as it stands, without having the guidance or anything like that, it looks as if perhaps there might be some frustration on you from you guys. And just kind of see the price moving like this. And I think one of the big reasons is because we saw Apple move so far into the earnings call here, or the earnings report, that unless there was something that like completely blows people away, we're going to see this kind of sideways action. So not really too surprised to see the price action here. Goog is still trading in the green, fortunately. Microsoft also came out with earnings. They beat, but is also down on some pretty poor sales numbers from the hardware side of things. AMD raised their guidance and they beat earnings. They came in and are up 1% right now. We'll kind of see how that shakes out. Teladoc missed earnings horribly and is still getting wrecked here after hours, now down 8%. Starbucks came in, beat earnings, is down 3.33%. I think that this is going to be a really good opportunity considering that they raised their guidance and beat earnings. I like this play. Again, a classic case of buy the rumor, sell the news. When you come out here and look at the daily charts, no surprise to see some profit taking here after hours. So I think that we look at Starbucks in particular. I just like it here at $120. If it does come back down to retest that area perhaps tomorrow, then I definitely will be considered scooping up some Starbucks if it were me. Facebook is responding, I guess, apparently to some of the numbers that we saw from Alphabet. AutoZone also came in and crushed earnings after hours, so pretty good move out of them. Mattel as well, now up over 4%. So pretty good numbers across the board from some of the earnings that we saw here today, Fat Man Zoom.
Yes, sir. And Hasbro kind of told us the story on Mattel They had earnings went off yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Snookeroo says, Brad, you called Apple dead on, man. Congrats on your sale. Yeah, thanks, bro. So if you guys didn't catch that, I mentioned that I had sold Apple at $149. I bought it at $138. Sold it at $149, so just $1 from the top. And you would have known that if you had been a part of the Chaos Crew. If you guys want to check that out, hit the join button next to subscribe. You get trade alerts from me anytime I make a trade with our Chaos Crew account. You'll get notified within our Discord group. You get all that, plus a daily watch list and access to my portfolio, all that good stuff. If you hit the join button next to subscribe, we'd love to have you guys as a part of the crew.
Andre said yesterday Tesla was up 675 after hours. Today, bloody red. I don't understand this market anymore. That's never changed. That's how the market's always been.
Yeah.
I do want to shout out Amar in a Chaos Crew. He's had some good trades. He actually sold Tesla at 673 after hours.
Yeah.
But we said, I mean, I asked Brad his predictions. I thought it would open red. Brad said it could potentially open red. So we both thought it would open red. None of this is a surprise.
Nope.
So just, I guess, I mean, you're a green bull. I don't understand. We're here for you, man. We'll see you in Discord.
We are here for you. And I will say, though, that, because we are seeing a little bit of a downturn today, it does not mean that this is going to last forever. I think that we could see a correction tomorrow with some of these, but then we see it bounce back, I think, in my opinion, as well. Lots of times when you have companies that outperform like this, they raise guidance and everything else, it sells off. It usually lends itself to actually a really good opportunity to perhaps scoop them up on the dip, because they don't deserve to continue to just be sold off. These are companies that are going to continue to do well. And so I think that maybe giving it a day or two to see if we see some consolidation, maybe it tests the support and starts to bounce from there. Those are going to be good opportunities to potentially add to or maybe even start a position on some of these stocks.
All right, man. We're back for it tomorrow. Another big earnings day. I think Facebook's the highlight for tomorrow.
Facebook's going to be a big one, but plenty of others, guys. So make sure that you're hitting that notification bell to tune back in with us tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. We will be live for some more earnings reactions. So far, so good. I am loving this earnings season so far, Fat Man Zoom. It's always a lot of fun. And I just appreciate you guys being with us. We had over 600 of you guys hanging out with us at one point. So we certainly appreciate that. If you could hit the thumbs up on your way out the door, we'd love your support as well. And that's going to do it for us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
See ya. Peace out.